Okay, last week we talked about different ways to find slope using, we talked about it using the y equals mx plus b form. We also did m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And we talked about domain. We talked about range. Okay, what's the domain? What's domain mean? What's it measure? AJ? I'm sorry? Yeah. Or the input values. Okay. Domain is a collection of the input values, and range. Good. Range is a collection of the output values. Sometimes we talk about numbers that can't be a domain in the domain, or can't be in the range. Okay? Sometimes there's numbers that can't be in there. Like x squared plus 3x over x. A number that can't be in the domain. That awesome.
X.
That's not a number. X is very.
3x. You can just say 3 or 2.
Give me a number that x cannot be equal to. Good try on it, but, and I see how you did it. You said that? Awesome. 0. Okay, x can't be 0 to have a domain, for the domain. Okay, and I just wanted to give you that because I wanted you to see that those things do crop up.
Oh, I thought this said 7.
Okay, salary is a function of hours worked. You get paid $40 an hour, but you cannot work more than $40 an hour, but you cannot work more than 40 hours in a week.
That is a lot.
Okay. Okay, what would be a reasonable domain for that function? give a few of these other people a chance to think. Okay. What would be a reasonable domain for that function? What do you think, Donovan? Would be part of the domain. 1 through 40 is even better.
1 through 40 hours.
Well, no, but. Okay. Austin?
1 through 24 hours.
No, because you can work up to 40 hours.
Okay.
We're actually really close there, but it would be
45.
greater than 0, less than or equal to 40.
That's exactly. Yeah, but a week, 40 hours a week.
Yeah. 40 hours a week. Okay, so you have to work something to get paid, so it has to be greater than 0, but you can't exceed 40, but you can reach 40,
I
you
want
can't
that.
exceed it. Pardon?
I want that job. Whatever it is.
Forget about you.
So, if you think about how this works, because as you get a next couple of years older, you start into the workplace. So you will start working for companies, and you will be under a restriction like this. Only you'll probably be getting more like,
$10
10.
an hour.
I was going to say 8.
Yeah, but minimum
But-
wage is 10 and a half.
Where are you working?
No, minimum wage is $7.80 an hour.
Ugh. $40 a week.
Okay. Which is really quite a bit. When I started working for minimum wage, it was $1.60 an hour.
Yeah, but stuff was cheaper.
Not really.
It was at the same kind of level that it is now, but it still wasn't good.
Actually, like, minimum wage has not gone up at the same, in the same percent as, like, buying a car.
I want to be a doctor, so I'm hoping to get like $40 a week.
Okay, because the car I bought when I was making $1.60 an hour, that car, that same model, if they still made it today, would be more than 10 times.
More than $1.60.
Okay, so,
You probably buy a car for like $300, it's like $30,000.
yeah. Well, my first luxury car that I bought, I remember this, guys, and if you're into cars, and I used to be very into cars. Tyler.
Trying to talk.
My first luxury car I bought when I was in high school, and I bought a 1973 Oldsmobile 98 luxury sedan, and it was loaded with everything. It was my second Olds 98, but it was the first one I bought new.
Do you still have it?
And, but it was $5,380, brand new. That's what I paid for it to drive it off the lot.
Dude,
And
I
I remember a guy that was a friend of the family's who told me, he said, there is no way I would ever pay that much money for a new car.
Yeah.
40 grand for one.
And today I pay more than that for a used car.
So did I.
Okay, so, and and an Olds 98, if they still made them. If you don't know what the Oldsmobile 98 was, it's very comparable to the top of the line Cadillac.
I want a Cadillac.
So they
I want a
run,
Firebird.
and that Cadillac runs about 75,000. So our pay hasn't gone up as much as the price of cars have gone up. The tomorrow is a double formative. Okay, tomorrow's a double formative. Oh, did I explain the bell work to you? Oh, you read that?
Oh, you did not.
Okay, guys.
Hey,
Hey, on the bell work, because I just handed it back to you, and some of you were immediately looking for your grade, and it wasn't there.
that was.
Okay, it is in the grade. It is in Power School.
Right now?
It's in there now. I put it in this morning. It came out to where there were actually 13 bell work assignments in that time period. I allowed you to get one freebie, so I only counted 12. I counted for 12. They counted for 2 points each. I reduced the score on the assignment to 24. So you can count how many you had in there. If you had 12, you got 24 points. If you had
13?
5, you got 10 points.
What about 13?
Okay, I think the lowest I had, other than a 0, because people that didn't turn it in, was somebody turned in one. Turned in theirs, they had 2.
That's a lot.
And that didn't even include, and they didn't even include Fridays. They didn't bother to do Fridays. And they turned it in. Okay, we're going to continue on slope, rate of change, these things that we've been talking about. Okay, we've talked again about these 2 methods of finding the slope. Remember, when it asks for the slope, if you can put it into y equals mx plus b, this value, the coefficient of x, is your slope. That value is your slope. Okay? If you have 2 ordered pairs, so you use this equation, this is your slope, okay? Because m stands for slope. So in math, especially in algebra, we have a lot of variables that we pretty much try to keep them consistent for certain values that they have, but you will see them in other things where it's not that value. It's not, they just arbitrarily put it in there, okay?
Does M like mean something like multiplicative or something like that?
It probably does, I just know that's what we use for slope. Okay, so you get used to working with these same variables, and I try to stay with that and try to use X and Y and Z predominantly, or A, B, and C. And you'll rarely see me use the letter I, because the letter I has a very significant value. The letter I means an imaginary number in algebra, but we have already had an assignment where they used the letter I, okay, and it wasn't for imaginary numbers. So just be aware that generally we use certain alpha characters for certain things, but not always, because any alpha character can be a variable, or any vector character. That really is confusing.
So like,
Okay, so I have an assignment. This is you. This is 2 sides, so make sure you turn it over when you finish the first side. Okay.
I really do.
get in before the end of class or get darn close. Remember, if you haven't had
My paper.
if you haven't had PE yet, if you're a freshman and you have not had PE yet, you go to the you go to the auditorium today, all week actually. Unless,
I wasn't even here. I thought you
pictures.
Yes, I did. I mean, what? I just told you. Oh yeah, she was there. Yeah, we got.
Okay, how do I do this?
We got close.
Is this homework? Is this homework or classwork?
Is this homework or classwork?
Classwork. Classwork.
15 minutes. Yes.
You got plenty of time to get it done.
Wait, in class?
Yeah, in class, that's what classwork means.
I don't know how to do this. I have an extra. You didn't use the same homework.
Wait, if they're all negatives, it's almost gonna be
Yeah, my friend Phil's is on here.
Take no